Hi people, hope you're well and welcome to another workout, yeah. Now, before I go on to my workout, I'm going to have a rant and a bit of a whinge, yeah. And you'll probably be sick of hearing about it by now, but it's about this, yeah. So, as I said in a recent video, I've torn my infraspinatus, yeah. Well, guess what? I haven't. I couldn't believe it. I've been doing all these exercises for weeks, aimed at the fact that I've torn my infraspinatus off the bone, yeah. And I thought it was strange because it's the biggest muscle in there. And I thought it was really strange that I could move still, yeah, and I could still do certain things. The only thing I can't do is, see this elbow? If I put this elbow here, I can lift my arm up, keep that elbow forward, yeah. Watch this. Put that elbow there, lift my arm up, and it goes that way. I literally can't control it, yeah. Now, I even thought it was strange that I'd somehow got it into my head that the infraspinatus caused that. It's the supraspinatus that causes that, the one that goes from there to there. And thinking about it, it makes perfect sense because that's where all my pain is. That's where all the aggravation is, and I get a little lump there. I know what that little lump possibly is now. It's the muscle that's bunched up because it's not there anymore. Like a little, you know, it's just bunched up in my shoulder. So, I've been doing wrong exercises for a few weeks because the specialist told me that my infraspinatus were torn off at bone, and it's not, it's my supraspinatus, yeah, which is responsible for holding your elbow there, and it's responsible for this strength movement where you go that way, yeah, which I can't do, and it's responsible. So if a specialist grabs hold of your hand and he pushes it that way, it'll just go because there's no there to hold it, yeah. It's not necessarily do anything there, but what it does do, it does a big job of holding the ball in the socket, as it were, type thing, holds it all into place. Because it's like held is your shoulder bone, and it's held by elastic bands basically, which are your muscles, and they hold it in place. If one's missing, it just wobbles about like I don't know what. And this is why I always feel like it's in wrong position all the time, yeah. Anyway, so what's my rant about? Well, it also turns out that I do need an operation, yeah, because of the wonderful things he does. Anybody remember that film? Wizard of Oz. Anyway, right. So I don't know where that came from, but yeah, because the infraspinatus is off. I've put myself off now. Because the infraspinatus is torn off a bone, right? Not the infraspinatus. I'm getting it wrong now. Because the supraspinatus is off the bone now, yeah. The infraspinatus has thickened, right? And this thickening, it gets worse. So it thickens and hardens. And then every time you hear that clicking, yeah, it's like a saw sawing away at your tendon. Every time it rubs on something, it's getting twanged off a tiny bit, a microscopic bit at a time, yeah, and over time, the snap. So I have to have this operation, people, yeah, otherwise it's going to take another tendon with it. So that's my rant over here. But what am I ranting about? I've even forgot myself. I'm ranting because, right, November, I've had this pain for ages. I've been to doctors a few times, it passed. And I hate to say the word, but I've always been fobbed off. That's the way I feel. So I finally do go with some gusto in November and I say, I want a scan. I demanded it. And actually that was thanks to somebody called Duncan Walsh. It was him that made me go do it, yeah. And I thank him for that, to be fair. He made me insist. So in November, I insisted on a scan. Yeah, and you get an ultrasound scan, don't you? So I got this ultrasound scan in November. I waited a month, December, to find out that I'd ripped my tendon, which I thought, I didn't know what tendon it was, just found out I'd ripped a tendon. I was going to see a specialist. January, gets a phone call from a specialist, not an appointment, a phone call, yeah, and he tells me I've ripped my infraspinatus. So I go YouTube, world of YouTube, looking at all books I've got, literature, and I start doing exercises based on the fact that I didn't have an infraspinatus anymore. I do a lot of exercises off camera, by the way, you know, to keep shoulders stable and stuff like that. I've been doing wrong exercises, right, since January, yeah. So I wait till February for a physio appointment, right? What's a physio appointment, people? It's where they get you in it and they manipulate you and do things with your body and exercise it, yeah. No, it was a conversation again, just to tell me what I already should have known, but it was slightly different. It's this that I've done. So I ain't got anywhere further forward, and that's since November. That's what my rant's about, yeah. I even don't know what my rant's about anymore. But yeah, so I'm back on, I've gone back to square one now, because basically what I've got to do is pretend to do all these exercises that I can't do, and he's going to ring me in a month. That's another month. Yeah, at which point I say, it's not working, I want an operation, and then I go down operation route. Yeah, that's it, rant over. Right, bull work a day today. Yeah, bull work a day. Have you ever spoke, right, and you get so far through your conversation and then you just forget what you're on about? Yeah, well, this is why, right? You know when people are ranting, you should let them blow off steam, because eventually they run out of steam. That's what I've done. So I'm going to exercise now. Just a quick one about the legs. Yeah, this little sculler is absolutely amazing for training legs. I've said it before and I'll say it again, yeah. I wake up all the time and the legs are aching, and I always think, I'm not trained legs. I have, on this. I kid you not. It works every time. The legs never get used to it. It really is a cracker of an exercise. So 10 minutes on here, and then we're on to bull worker. And I'll never mention my shoulder again. I probably will. Right, so let's go, yeah. If you remember last week, I hit kind of a bit of a weird problem on these bull workers where I couldn't reach anywhere near the weights or the metre markings that I was reaching in previous weeks. So what I've decided to do, because I've just tried it off camera and I can't reach these figures. Now I don't know what's going on, but there's some kind of weakness happening, and it is a weakness. It's not to do with my training. I've just become weak in the bull worker all of a sudden. I know I said I wouldn't talk about it, but it is to do with this injury. So there's something going off with body which I'm not aware of. So what I've done is I've put the marker back to 0, and I'm going to start again. So yeah. Seven seconds, that was 140. So I'll write that down, 140, Grey Spring. So then on this little steel ball, should have been 110, but I'm going to take it back because I know I'm not going to reach that. So that's 75. I'm quite impressed with that one. Yeah. And if you notice, I'm breathing different, and I'll explain that in a minute. That's 65, I'm happy with that. Yeah, the breathing people, what's different about it? Well, I'm on a group called Bull Worker Fit, and there's a gentleman on there called Giovanni, yeah. And he's done a couple of sessions on breathing and how to breathe when you're using the bull workers and when you're exercising in general. And the information that he's given me personally is invaluable, yeah, because for some reason, no matter how long I've trained for, I've never ever been able to grasp this breathing thing. I've always been one of these people in gym that when I get a big bench press I go yeah, and do that end, yeah, always. And I've got into really bad habits right doing that. So Giovanni on Bull Worker Fit on Facebook done a couple of videos about breathing, and it all makes perfect sense. So basically I'll explain that to you now. Obviously I found this information out, I've got to pass it on, yeah. So you've got a bull worker in your hand. You breathe in, and you only breathe out when you're exerting the pressure. So whenever you're exerting the pressure, you breathe out, yeah? So it's in, out. and that feeds your muscles with oxygen that they need. You. Whereas what you'll see me doing in the past is going blunt face and just training. Yeah, no good. So yeah, I thought I'd pass that information on to you and what's happening with my breathing. I'm trying to do it like the guru said on Facebook, Giovanni. Yeah. Right. So for obvious reasons, I can't do a good curl on here because of this muscle here. Yeah. So I'll just do the best I can. That was 165. Yellow spring, get that wrote down. 165, yellow. I'm starting a new set of numbers down. Oh, I forgot my right hand. So I've got to match that. Right hand will be dead easy because it's not a problem at all. Nice. Steel ball, left hand, yellow string. Seven. Have a look at that. That is 70. Write that down. Yellow. So I'm going to match that with the right hand now. $70. Wrote that down. Go to the X5. I'm going to do something different with this X5 today. I don't know if I'm going to regret it, but I'm going to go for the outer straps. Yeah. And that was 60 with the outer straps. The reason I went for outer straps, yeah, was to get a full contraction. You don't normally get a full contraction on this exercise. It felt quite nice. Nice. So that was 60. Now this next exercise, so I'll set the marker back down there again because I'm making a new marker now. A lot of it's to do with psychology as well. I'm psychologically a little bit worried now because I've got a different muscle to contend with that I've broken, and suddenly because I know that I can feel the strain, and I don't want to push it. I'm a bit scared. So that is 205. Match that with a stronger arm. Steel ball. That is 100, yellow spring. Write that down. 100. Now, the X5. $70. Nice. 70 for that. Next exercise. I am going to stick to yellow spring because I'm just a little bit scared of injury. Bit too easy that, but it's the way I'm feeling at the moment. I've got to admit I'm enjoying that breathing. Yeah, it's putting a lot of control on my lungs, which I think that's the important part of it, the control. Whereas normally I'm all erratic and I can't breathe after an exercise because I'm not focusing on the control of the breathing. So it is important, and I'm glad somebody's finally explained it to me. $85, not bad. But from now on, somebody's going to be watching my videos thinking they've got a puncher. Right, exercise 5. $165. Yellow spring. No point doing the little steel bow. Can't really do that exercise with that. $50. Exercise 6, I'm sticking with yellow spring, so I'm not feeling like cracking. That's 170. 170. 70. X5. Ooh. 45. Write that down. Right then. So a lot of people out there now will be thinking I've gone backwards on the bulwarker. I haven't. Basically, while listening to this Giovanni gentleman on Facebook, Bulwarker Fit site, if you want to join, if you're a bulwarker enthusiast, there's a lot of experts on there. He mentioned about contracting the muscles as opposed to trying to push the bulwarker as hard as physically possible. Yeah. In the past, I've been trying to push the bulwarker as hard as physically possible. Yeah, and I've been hitting big numbers, and it's been feeling great. Yeah, but just from an egotistical point of view. Yeah. Today I've trained different. I've contracted the muscles and let the bulwarker follow, and it's completely different. Yeah, you're not as strong as you think you are. So listen, people. Yeah. Don't always listen to one source on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, yeah. Find loads of sources. I regularly admit that I'm no guru, I'm new to all this, yeah. And the only reason I'm on this channel is to show you my training. Yeah, I don't expect you to follow me. I just, as I find out stuff, I mention it, yeah, because I think it's useful. But my advice to everybody is find out for yourself. And what I mean by that is research different people, yeah. There's always somebody that knows more than somebody else, yeah. And this Facebook site on they're called Bulwarker Fit is just essential. It's just full of people that have been doing this thing for donkey's years. So I'll just explain that a bit more about what I mean about contracting the muscle rather than just squeezing the bulwarker. So I'll just squeeze it, yeah. Squeezed, right? Don't take a lot of strength. Squeezed. Now I'll squeeze it contracting the chest. What's the difference? So it went right to end then, didn't it? And it didn't go right to end that time, yeah? It was slightly off. So what's the difference? I've exhausted the muscle by using the muscle for what it's meant to be doing, yeah? Not bringing the whole body into play, just by trying to concentrate on that one thing. The chest, squeeze the chest, the arms come forward as you're squeezing that chest. And then you get a full contraction, which is at the end of the bulwarker, and then you let go. I hope that explains it. So last but not least, now this exercise, this is ideal for just contracting the muscle and not squeezing down on the bulwarker. So I won't get as far, so ready? So that's 130, that's nowhere near what I normally do. That's because I'm contracting the muscle and not just pushing down on the bulwarker. It is a massive difference, and I'm glad somebody pointed it out for me. You're always learning. Yeah, I can feel it, it's a massive difference. You're training the muscle now as opposed to your ego. Oh, 60. And that was 50. That was nowhere near what I can do, yeah. But the feel on the muscle was at least 5 times better, so it's worth it, yeah. Right, so now I'm on to the press-ups to finish. And I think it's 13s now. So I've got to do 13s all this week. Again, the breathing has got to be breathe in on the way down, and out on the way up. Because the way up is the exertion movement, the way down is not the exertion movement. So you always breathe out when you're exerting most, which is common sense really, isn't it? But it's just something I've never grasped. 13. But yeah, I kind of do get it. Yeah, as long as you get into rhythm of what you're doing as well. So if you're doing it slow, breathe in slow. If you're doing it fast, breathe in and out fast. Simple. Right, next set. Right, last set. Oof, just give out right at the end then for some reason. Yeah, just went all wobbly. Yeah, today one best training session for me today. I wasn't feeling it at all, and I don't mind admitting it. Yeah, but you do get days like that. The important thing is I've trained. Yeah, I did my breathing better today. I did my contractions better today. So I paid for it on the weights, or the spring tension, should I say. It reduced a lot, yeah, but I've gained because I contracted the muscles more, yeah. So it'll pay for itself eventually, yeah. It's not all about pushing those bull workers right to end, yeah. Anybody can just do a big squeeze and bring everything into it, yeah. But when you contract your muscle to do it, yeah, it's a different ball game, yeah. You're not as strong as you think you are. So I have to go sulk about my new information that I've got about my shoulder and the fact that I do need an operation, yeah. In the meantime, keep training.